Welcome to Cold Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales. Have you ever felt stuck? Have you ever felt like there's got to be more than life than the reality that you see every day? Tune in weekly, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as we crack the codes to freedom in every area of your life. Welcome to Cold Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales, and this is episode 13. And today, we're going to talk about being present. See, for those of you who are like me and you're ambitious, sometimes overly ambitious, you're futuristic, you're a visionary, you already know what the future is going to be like. In fact, if somebody were to ask you, hey, what does the next 5 years look like for you? What does the next 10 years look like for you? You could tell them in great detail because that's just how you're wired. You live in it, right? And sometimes that is a great characteristic to have. But on the flip side, because and I'll say this, some people don't have any kind of plan for the future. So for you to have that is phenomenal, right? But on the same time, sometimes your strength can be your weakness because it could also cause you to miss out on the present, miss out on the moments that are happening right in front of you, miss out on all the beautiful things that Yahweh has put in front of you, that you might have missed out on that could have been so big for you, but you missed it because you were so focused and so thinking about the next move, right? And so remember when we were kids and maybe you were thinking, okay, I can't wait to be a teenager because then I'll be able to drive. And then once you were a teenager, you're like, oh man, I can't wait to be an adult because then I'll be done with school. And then you're an adult, you're like, I can't wait to be married. And then I can't wait to have kids. And then I can't wait for the kids to be out the house. And then I can't wait for the grandkids. And then next thing you know, you look past your life and you are always looking so far in the future that you missed out on all those moments, all those opportunities that you could have enjoyed being in the present. And so I'm reminded of a story that Will Smith tells that happened to him. His dad had this building and he tore the whole wall down. And it was like 30 feet 30 feet wide maybe and 60 feet 60 like 16 feet tall, and they had to kind of dig a 6-foot hole just to get to the bottom, to the foundation of it. And just imagine all these bricks on the ground, and you are now tasked, him and his little brother are tasked to put this wall back together. And it could seem like a daunting task, like wow, how am I going to get this done? And sometimes, when you are so futuristic, when you're so focused on the future, you could also get frustrated because you miss out on the moments of today because you're so focused on tomorrow. You're so focused on what the next 5 years are going to look like. And I'll tell you, nobody has this challenge as much as I do. So I'm speaking from experience. I'm not talking at you. I'm talking with you, right? But I'll say this. So what the lesson in this though is that Will Smith had and his brother, they had to build these. He said they don't set out to build the wall. You set out to build the brick, and you build that brick as perfectly as you can lay it, brick by brick, one at a time. And it's got to be perfect. It's got to be like today is the most important day of your life, right? And we're not saying that tomorrow doesn't matter, and we're not saying to forget the past. However, today is where we are, right? And let's just focus on making this day the best day you could possibly make it with everything you have and every experience and every opportunity, whether it's with your family, whether it's with your kids, whether it's with your health, whether it's with even your career and your business. Give it all, everything you have in every area, and don't be so focused on the future that you miss the moments and the experiences, right? And so that's what they did. They built this wall brick by brick, and then they realized after a year and a half after they laid the final brick that they built a wall. But again, they didn't set out to build the wall. They just set out each day to build the brick as perfectly as they could lay it. And so I wanted to share this with you because, again, this is a key uh, code to freedom, because sometimes we can put ourselves in bondage. We could put ourselves in bondage in our own head, in our own mind, because we get so frustrated about what's not happening or where we aren't, that we forget where we are. And I'm not saying that you're not grateful or have an attitude of gratitude, as we talked about in the last episode, but what I am saying is that if you're so in the future, then sometimes you can miss the fact that, hey, you have accomplished something. Like, you're not where you used to be. And so what if we could celebrate today, and be so grateful for today because of where we are? I think about, even in my own life, I still have a lot of goals that I'm looking to achieve, but even on my worst day, it's still better than my best days used to be. And when I think about that, I'm like, my God, and so, I just want us to just really kind of put that on as a thought today as we're moving throughout life, is, are we taking in today? Are you taking in the sunshine? Are we taking in the air? Are we taking in our breath that Yahweh is putting in our lungs every second, right? Without us even having to think about it. Are we taking in how beautiful your spouse is to you? How amazing your children may be in your eyes, and just they are, period, right? Just take in all the good things that we can experience for today. And hey, tomorrow's gonna come, but today is here. So let's live it to the fullest. So I appreciate you guys for taking a listen. I hope you got some value. Feel free to share, tag me on Instagram, and I look forward to our next episode. Take care. Take charge. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for listening. Definitely feel free to take a screenshot of this episode, tag me in it on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you find me on social media. I would love to give you a shout out. Hey, you might even get a prize. Who knows? But excited that you had a chance to take a listen. I hope you got a lot of value. And definitely feel free to give us 5 stars as well as a review. Show us some love, and we appreciate you. God bless you all, and see you all over the top.